Growing up, I remember how certain dishes like this tomato chutney weren't even seen as sophisticated. In fact, it wasn't just a food that was dismissed. Everything that came with it, the culture, the roots, it was a time when the food we ate shaped how we were seen, even by ourselves. Years in the boarding school, I realized how much we all absorb from the environment around us, how even without anyone directly teaching us, we were conditioned to think certain foods were better than the others. The European and the American foods were the foods that signal class, sophistication, and fitting in. Where I remember back then in school, every Sunday we would get to meet our parents for 2 hours where there was a lot of open space and we would sit and have lunch with our parents for 2 hours. So we could technically eat anything that our parents got, but we wouldn't be allowed to take the fast food in. I remember kids who had pizza and pasta would simply boast about it like it was the benchmark, or they somehow created this peer pressure where other kids had to conform to it. But then there were dishes like chutney, humble and full of tradition. To many, it was too ordinary, too simple. There was this invisible pressure to turn away from the flavors that tied us to our roots, to embrace the Western foods that seemed to promise more acceptance, more belonging. It wasn't about being told, this is what is good. It was more about what we absorbed in the air. The food we ate became a subtle marker of identity. Well, and somewhere along the way, we started believing it. But now, as I get older, something changed. I started to appreciate the value of those simple foods. The chutney, for example, it is not just about the spices or the tang of the tomatoes. It is about where it is from, who made it, and the memories it carries with it. These were the flavors of home, the flavors of history and culture. Honestly, it reminds us of our parents' generation where they underwent so many struggles, where they had to hurriedly make dishes and rush to do errands or other little works to even have a square meal. The truth is, what makes something posh or worthy isn't what society tells you. It is what resonates with you, what feels real. And as I cook this chutney today, I realized that the so called simple dishes are the ones that hold the richest stories, the ones that stay with you, the ones you never forget. Food has a way of shaping us, of defining what we think is better, elegant, or authentic. But as we grow, we realize that the true richness of food isn't in its label or where it is from. It is in its taste, its memories, its connection to who we really are. So, the next time you make a dish like this, a dish that feels like home, remember there's no such thing as simple food. There's only food that tells a story, and maybe, just maybe, the things we once thought were less than are actually the ones that make life a little richer. And with that, I would like to thank you for your love and support.